Hello, it's been a minute. I think I last saw you guys in January, briefly in February for a Stitch Mania Olympic vlog. It is now April 18th, so it's been a while. We're in a different room today. We're in my kitchen because my loud upstairs neighbors, the ones who let their kid use her scooter indoors early in the morning. I'm not going to tell anyone how to parent their kid, but um, anyway, they moved out, only to be replaced by louder contractors as the apartment upstairs undergoes massive renovations. So you might hear some banging and some loud noise. If it gets really loud, I'll stop and finish the video tomorrow or later or something. But I thought the kitchen would be a little bit quieter since it's one more level down, and I don't know. Sorry in advance. Real life happening in the background, people. So where have I been? I've been here. I was in a show called The Good Cop, a Netflix show from basically from Thanksgiving until last Friday. So usually between January, like between Christmas and March, mid-March, it's considered the slow season in film and TV production in New York City. A lot of shows wrap up for the season in December, and so until the beginning of what's referred to as pilot season in March, things are usually kind of slow. I think last year between January 1st and March 10th, I worked 9 days. It was so slow, I counted and I remember that number. So I can usually count on having a lot of stitching time during the first quarter of the year because it's just not very busy. Not this year. Luckily, very fortunately for me and my wallet and my family, I was super busy the entire way through the slow season on this show. It was really fun. I think it's going to be really good. I worked with some nice people, and yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of hard work though, and it was very long days. It's a cop show, so there's a murder every episode. So there's spoiler. I mean, I'm sure that's in the Netflix description. Anyway, it's a cop show, so there's murders, and all of these murders, not all of them, but like a lot of them for some reason take place outside in the woods in Staten Island in the cold. So I was outside a lot in the freezing cold. We did a lot of Saturdays, and the hours were long, and when I was home on the weekends, I just kind of wanted to hibernate and stitch, and I didn't feel like pulling out the video stuff. So sorry, life got in the way, but I'm off this week, and I've already got a lot of stitching in this week, and I did stitch. I do have things to show you, so I guess let's get into that. Enough rambling. We're like 5 minutes in, and we should get to it, right? I'm obviously out of practice. Sorry, guys. Okay, so first of all, I have... Okay, so first of all, move my coffee out of the way. I have two FFOs to show you. So do you remember, I think in November, I showed you guys my mom had brought me a bag of projects that her mom, of like a variety of things, of embroidery stuff and some needlepoint stuff, and that belonged to her mom, who had moved into a home and no longer wanted her stitching stuff. And in that bag was some finished needlepoint canvas pieces that just needed to be framed. And she even had the frames for them in the bag. So I finished those up. So here's this one. Let's see, is it focusing? Put it back here on my face. Little boat, seagulls. There we go. You can tell that this one, that the canvas was kind of warped from, I don't know, from like being stored improperly in the years and whatever, and you can kind of see that a little bit in the stitches, but I'm okay with it. You know, I stretched it as best as I could. And then I also finished this one. I'm gonna focus. Nope, that's okay. You're just gonna change colors, Bunch? Great. I put it in front of my face. Anyway, you get the idea. So yeah, I finished those. I'm gonna hang them up next to that over the coffee pot over there. You know what I'm talking about. Out of practice. This is why you can't take 4 months off Flosstubing. Okay, so I finished those. FFO'd those. I also finished and FFO'd the Haunted Mansion wedding gift I was working on in January that I showed you guys. That was given to them at their wedding in January. I don't have it anymore. They liked it a lot. Sent me a nice thank you. I will insert a picture of it here, what it looked like framed. I'm really proud of that one, actually. I think that's probably the nicest wedding gift I've done so far. I feel kind of bad for the people who got married earlier on in my stitching career, because I think their gifts are not going to be as good as the people who get married like this year or next year or later on in my life. Because I'm improving and like taking more chances with patterns and fabric and floss and stuff, so I don't know. What can you do? I also finished, sorry for the crinkling, I've not FFO'd this yet because I want to use the rest of the fabric for something else. This is from the Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue, 2017. It's called Warm Hands. I don't remember the name of the designer. Let me see if I can adjust the focus here. Hang on. I'm having some focus issues both with my camera and myself. Sorry about that. Anyway, this is called Warm Hands. I don't remember the name of the designer because I'm a terrible person, but it is from the Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue 2017. And I just stitched it in DMC red something, DMC probably B5200. And this is a mystery linen. Mystery color, mystery count. I got it off eBay. I don't really like it that much, which is why I'm using it for ornaments. Cause I've tried to start a couple of projects on it and just not been happy with the weave. I'll probably stitch a couple other ornaments on it. There's enough left. And then hopefully finish them and put them on my tree this year. And you heard it here first, so now I got to do it. Okay, so I also finished, I showed this in my Stitch Mania Olympic vlog, but I'm going to show it to you again because I love it. This is the first parlor treat. This is also from Just Cross Stitch magazine, February 2017 issue. There's a second one of these, which I'm also going to do. I'm counting both together as a Year of Whips project. So you could call this Year of Whip half done. You could say I've earned my PhD in this Year of Whip. I love this. I don't like backstitching in general. Like, I don't like the act of doing it, but it's always so worth it, right? So there's that. Okay, and my last finish slash first whip. So is my Heaven and Earth design, which lives in my Margot bag. There's your Margot shout out for this video. Even though Margot hasn't done a video in a while. So I've actually finished a page on this. There we go. Focus. Yeah. Finish this page here. So that's my first and only year of whips finish. Sorry, I hope I'm not making anybody nauseous trying to get this into frame. I'm super happy with how this is looking. It's actually starting to look like a horse. You can see the mane in here. This is, oh, come on, Caitlin. This is his cheek down here. Yeah. I've been working on this for the Full Coverage Fanatics monthly stitch along where you have to put 200 stitches in. No, 1,200 stitches in every month. And I've managed about exactly 1,200 each month, usually because I'm working on it at the last minute, trying to rush to get the last 100 stitches in before midnight. I am a procrastinator. But anyway, so it's April, and I finished 1 out of 18 year of whips. So you could say I am doing really well, and I'm off to a great start. 1.5. I mean, I've honestly been a little bummed about how little I've gotten done compared to other people. I know comparison is the thief of joy, and I should not compare myself to other people, especially because I had such a busy winter. But I was hoping to have more done by now. But I have been making progress, which, speaking of, I'll now show you my not finished whips or works in progress. So first up, I've been working on this week, is the Tree of Stitches. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna have to put something behind this. I can't show you what this will look like finished, but Ingeborg from A Stitch Too Far finished it either last year or early this year. It's in her Instagram. It's by the Bees Needleworks. It's an online PDF chart. So this is that. Ooh. Just gonna try to get it to, there we go. I don't think the lighting is doing these colors justice, but you can see the specialty stitches there. So we have cross stitch, obviously, we have some French knots. I haven't completed that section. We have Smyrna stitch, eyelets, rice stitches. We have some cushion stitches, Jerusalem stitch, and I've started the floral stitch. So this, I'm really loving it. I'm stitching this in, this is Gloriana threads. The tree trunk is Gloriana's Ironwood. The leaves are being done in Gloriana's Autumn Arbor, which I wish the lighting was better so that you could really see just how beautiful these are, especially with these cushion stitches. It's like just this beautiful green, gold, red color. I'm also using a little bit of Dinky Dyes, this green color in the, what's it called? Hang on 1 second. Dinky Dyes Corenda 213. Using a little bit of that. There's a stray needle on some silk. Great, that there. So I'm really enjoying it. None of the stitches are perfect, but it's a learning piece. It's meant to teach specialty stitches, so I'm not really sweating it. I'm loving working with the silks. Oh, and that's stitched on 28 count Lugana from Picture This Plus in the colorway Chrysalis, which is basically an almost white pale green. also been working a lot on Kathy Barrick's Cat and Mouse. I love this one. Love his expression. What is that face for, dude? Who knows? He's so embarrassed. Why? I'll insert a picture of where you saw it last. This is where I'm at now. So this one is fun because it doesn't have a lot of color changes. You know, like it's kind of like a prairie schooler where you get these big blocks of color, and you get easy areas where you can just fill in, like filling in the sky is pretty easy, and the colors are fun to work with. The downside is it's very stitch heavy. Like it's not a physically large design, it's, what is it? It's like 100 by 100. So it's like a medium-sized design. But, you know, all of this inside this cat is filled in. So it's very stitch heavy, so it does take a long time. But it's been really great on the train because I'll, you know, fill in the sky, or, you know, I can outline something and then fill it in pretty easily. So that means that I can stitch on the train without having to look at a chart, which is always a bonus. Because then you have like less things you're juggling on the subway. So there's that. And this is a swimsuit bag, which I think somebody else recently posted on Stitch Mania about this idea, but these are really great for project bags, especially if you look for them in like September, in August or September, when like beach season is over. You can get, I think I got this for $3 at Bed Bath & Beyond, and it's sizable enough to fit a hoop and has these little pockets in the front for your scissors and stuff, and it's waterproof in case it rains. So, pro tip. And then the last thing I've been working on, put this over here, as you can see this mess around me. The last thing I've been working on is my Beatrix Potter sampler. This is a PDF, so from the Primitive Hair, I will insert a picture of what it will look like finished, and also a picture of where you saw it last. And this is where I'm at now. I love this. I haven't, first of all, this dress was a beast. That is like 3,000 stitches of brown. But again, it was like really, once I outlined it, I just took it on the train every day and filled it in, and on my lunch break and all that. So I'm stitching this on Color and Cotton's Lugana. I think it's 28 count in the colorway Ruins. So this is one of the fabric of the month. And I have also achieved my PhD in this project, and I think I'm going to work on it a little bit more today. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm having a hard time putting it away, even though I'm supposed to be working on other things. That's probably a good sign. So that's it for whips. Plan-wise, we're coming up on Mania, right? I don't know. I know I said I was going to do it, but I don't know if I am. I'm back and forth like daily, right? Like on one hand, I'm like, I don't know, I already have so much going on. I already have 18, you know, I still have 17 things to complete for Year of Whips. Well, 8, because you only have to do half, but you know, plus my other projects that are not even in my Year of Whip pile, plus I have friends who are getting ready to have babies and get married, so there's going to be some gifts coming up. On the other hand, I do have this collection of like smalls, like true smalls, you know, under 50 by 50, some tiny Mill Hill kits, some, you know, some of those Prairie Schooler freebie cards, just some PDF downloads, these little small projects that I want to get done. And Mania might be a good opportunity for that, you know, doing one every other day. It might be possible to start, if I do one every other day and do 9, it might be possible to start and finish 9 tiny stitches. Then again, I always bite off more than I can chew, and it might also totally overwhelm me. Then again, the last day of Mania is retreat, was when the New Jersey retreat is, so I could bring everything that's not done and maybe finish them there that weekend. I don't know. These are the conversations I'm having with myself as we get closer to May. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're doing Mania, how you're doing Mania. If you're doing Mania and have a stack of projects like I do, how you are handling the guilt of Mania. Advice welcome. Okay, so we talked about life, we talked about finishes, we talked about whips. Did we talk about retreat? No. Retreat's coming up. It's a month away. The Flosstube New Jersey retreat. I'm super excited. I can't wait to meet everyone who's going. A lot of people are going, guys. I think Trisha's going. Jessie Marie is going. Ingeborg's going. I think Joe might be going. It's kind of like I'm going to meet a bunch of my role models or people I have weird celebrity crushes on. So I'm very nervous and very excited. It occurred to me the other day that I watch all of you guys in 1.5. It doesn't matter how fast you talk, I watch you in 1.5. Some of you I watch at double speed, but everybody else I watch in 1.5. And it kind of occurred to me that, is it going to be weird to hear you all talk in your normal speed? Now that I'm used to you guys all talking talking in 1.5 speed? I don't know. Just a little thought there. But I'm really excited. I've saved up some Needleworkers Delight gift cards. I probably need to get some finishes in I'm already in the hole from Stitch from Stash, so I'm going to need to do some serious work in the next couple weeks to get out of that hole and build a cushion for retreat. Speaking of Stitch from Stash, I've actually done okay in the shopping so far this year. I really wanted to acquire and spend less this year. I went a little overboard last year getting into cross stitch. I got really excited, bought all the things, and this year I'm trying to Stitch from Stash as much as possible, to stop hoarding charts, to really buy less. I think I have some stuff to show you, but it's stuff I've purchased over 4 months, so I think it's not really that much, and I'm doing okay. So, first of all, I got some Stitchy Kindness. This was from Michelle Garrett. She showed this on her channel, and I asked her where she got it, and told her I need to have that, and she was so kind that she sent it to me, so thank you, Michelle. So, it's a Soda Stitch design, and it's called House Accessory 4. Pizza shop. Of course, I'm having trouble focusing it, but so it's these little house cubes, and you can't see it. It shows it in the pattern, so I can't show it to you, but one of these sides of the house has like a little Vespa for delivery, which is cute. The back has instructions for how to put it together. So people in our Brooklyn family are going to get some pizza shop ornaments this year for Christmas. Sidebar, pizza shop or pizza store? Which is it? It's an ongoing debate in our household. I think it's pizza shop. My husband is convinced it's pizza store. He insists that the correct term is pizza store. So if you want to weigh in below and let me know who's right, probably me, by all means. It's pizza shop. Come on. Like it's ice cream shop, like it's an ice cream shop. So it's also a pizza shop. Feel free to debate and discuss in the comments. I love a good debate. So I also bought a couple things. I don't typically gravitate towards Little House Needleworks, and I'm not doing the whole farmhouse Christmas scene. I saw this one, and I want to do it for my mom. She's a horse nut, told you before. I also like horses, so I might do it twice and do it for myself. I can get it out of the plastic. It is the Farmhouse Christmas Horsing Around. I mean, you all know what it looks like. It doesn't matter that it's totally out of focus. It's a lady with a horse, and there's a chicken on the horse. It's cute. I do object to when I pay full price for a Little House Needleworks pattern and it comes folded like this, in the sense that it is like totally crooked. And I do find it annoying that they use paper. I mean, the charts aren't that expensive. They're what, like $5, $6, but they're on like printer paper. They're cute charts. I'm not trying to say negative things about Little House Needleworks. I prefer to purchase them secondhand because I object to paying full price for printer paper. I got this on Cross Stitch Stash Enhancers, which is like a stash unload. I've been looking for this for a little while. It's one more stitch. It's another Little House Needlework design. You know, I got this lady. Oh, my camera really. It's really having a hard time today, right? There we go. There we go. So you got to do the paper trick. Maybe. Got to put it on paper and cover my face. Is that how we're gonna? Well, you guys have also seen this one before. It's a lady in a house. This is just one more stitch. It's nighttime. Just staying up late. There's a bird on the fence, but I might change it to a cat. So there's that one. And then finally, I got this. This is a Little House Needleworks that I hadn't seen before. And so I saw it on eBay and I got it for like a couple bucks. Some of their tumbleweeds collection. I'm a mess. It's called The Journey. Ugh. Anyway, if you can't see it, you can look it up. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with this camera today. I never have focus issues upstairs. It has to be a kitchen issue. The lighting isn't very good, I guess. But anyway, it's called The Journey. You know, it's got this primitive looking horse and kind of cave drawing looking thing. It's charted all in silks, in Classic Colorworks and Gloriana silk. Which is not happening because I started to put these all in my cart on 1-2-3 Stitch and it was going to be like $80 because there's 8 different silk colors you need. So I'm going to stitch this from Stash. I have a variety of silk odds and ends. And I had, it's not here yet, but I did order an Oops pack on Etsy from Silks For You. So I'm just going to use whatever I have to stitch this, because there isn't really a DMC conversion, and I also don't want to buy the overdyed cotton. So, but I thought that was neat and different, and if I decide to do Mania, that might be what I do. And then I also have continued to hoard Mill Hill kits. I got Arctic Circle Santa, the Nunavut Santa, because I got so far on my Jamaican Santa that I was worried I was going to run out of Mill Hill kits. And then I also got, this is called Christmas Socks. Take it out. There we go. Little socks with hearts. Did it help? I don't know. This entire video is me putting things in front of my face, trying to get them in focus. So you could say it's going well. This one too might be, if I do Mania, it'll be things like this it's super tiny. You know, can do it in an afternoon if I'm not at work. Go back in your home. Wow. And then finally, I got from 123 Stitch Ginger and Spices Canada sampler, which has been on my list for a while. It's not very expensive. This chart, I mean, not to go back to this, but this chart and this chart were basically the same price. I think this chart was $1. This chart was like $1 more. And for $4.80 or whatever, this chart is, you know, printed on nice quality paper. It's large, has stitching instructions. I think it's really large. So I guess that's just what I'm saying. You know, granted, this chart it's probably from the 90s when it was made. But anyway, the O Canada sampler, even though I have a multitude of, this is either my second or third Canada sampler that I have purchased and not yet stitched. But what are you gonna do? So that's it for things I've purchased. Oh, well, I also have Color and Cotton. I have 4 months of Color and Cotton Fabric Club to catch you up on. So this was the December fabric. I'm gonna have to do the white paper trick with this too. If you've made it all the way through this video, you're great. So there's this. This is like, I don't know actually what this color is called because she didn't write it on the tag, but it's Joblin and it's this beautiful, beautiful teal color. It's looking pretty true. The December, and then I switched from even weave to linen. I decided to pay $2 extra a month to have higher count, like 36 and 40 count linen, because I think it dyes nicer. And I can, if I get smaller counts, then I can work on bigger things. The January fabric was called Glasgow. It's this really pretty blue-gray. February is called Rosewater. It's this gorgeous pink. It's pretty true to color. Like a very pale. Very pale pink. It's a little more pink in person. And then March was this really pretty yellow. It's like bright yellow. It's not showing up very well in here. A little brighter than that. It's called Lemonade. And it really looks like lemonade. It's bright yellow. So that's everything I got. That's not bad for 4 months. You know, 4 months of Fabric Club subscription and a couple charts. I'm doing okay this year. So that is everything, I think. Of course, now that I'm done, the contractors have gone on lunch and it's quiet. So that's great. If you stuck through with all the focus issues and the noise and the bad lighting, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming back if you're coming back. Thank you for joining me if you're new. This community is great. I know that in the time that I was gone, there was some drama, you know, and I'm late to the boat on this, but I just wanted to say that you guys are all fantastic. I appreciate the people who come and interact with me and watch. I appreciate the people who take the time to make videos, the people who don't make videos but who comment. You know, there are a lot of other like hobby communities on YouTube. Like my husband watches some gaming communities, like follows some gaming channels and follows some cooking channels. And to my knowledge, none of those other communities are the same as Flosstube. I don't think they have the kindness and the generosity, and I don't think they form these like long distance friendships the way we do. Because even though I haven't met some of you, I consider you friends because we talk and we comment on each other's Instagram and Facebook, and I know about your lives and you know about mine, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you guys next month. So I just wanted to say that you're great. You're all great. And I wouldn't take the time to do this or to watch you guys or interact with you guys if it didn't enrich my life and make my life better in some way. And I think it does. So that's my little sentimental end cap to this long rambling focus issue video. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to clean up this mess and try and make some sense out of these clips. So thank you again. And I will see you again. I will see you again in less time than 4 months. Let's say that.